Hello, Scary Ruth. Sorry for not updating in the last month or so. I've been a little bit slow with my progress, mainly because basically I left my job, been playing a lot of Oblivion Remaster, and that's the main reasons, to be honest. But I'm still cracking away on the project, and today I want to share the process of creating this spooky cult. I went on a bit of a binge of some horror movies and some games recently. Silent Hill 2 Remake, Nightmare on Elm Street, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, House of a Thousand Corpses. Really been enjoying the Rob Zombie movies, so Devil's Rejects, 3 from Hell. And this aesthetic has made me really second guess a lot of my spookier elements. And I still want to go for the sort of Lovecraftian, eldritch horror, but I'm thinking I need to make things a little more gritty and dirtier as well. Mainly because that's what I like in horror. That's my style of horror, that's what I want to see. So with that in mind, today I'm going to be focusing on the lore of this spooky little cult. I'd already done a lot of the art and design for this before I had my little epiphany, so it's kind of reflective of, a mix in between of the sort of, drowned god aesthetic mixed with this sort of creepy, dirty mix I'm going for as well. Essentially, what I want to create here is something which is going to mix in together some lore, some gameplay elements, and a way to give exploration to the player, so that they'll be able to seek out some collectibles, and they'll have a sort of a faction that they can go back and see. One of my inspirations is definitely Fallout New Vegas, characters that you can join and maybe make a faction with, and also the emergent storytelling that comes from Dark Souls, Hollow Knight. I want to basically spread out little bits of the lore throughout the game through different characters, maybe different item descriptions, so that it's not all found in one location, but that one location will be the main headquarters for this group essentially. So without further ado, I'm going to jump into that. I'm going to cut ahead to where I will have implemented all this to the game. I'm going to do a little bit of discussion of it and show some gameplay, and we'll see where we go from there. So this is probably one of the bigger updates that I've had in a single video in the time that I've been working on this, and that's because I have been off essentially for the last month. But I am coming back, getting back on track. So if this interests you, please do like, comment, subscribe. Check out my Patreon, which will be linked in the description and in the top comment. And yeah, thank you very much. Here we go. If you've watched the previous videos in the series, you'll be familiar with this little area here, which is basically a lobby for the train station. It's one of the areas that's most finished at the moment. So what I want to build off is going in this direction over here. The little creepy character in the corner there is just a placeholder, because basically this door here will be locked. As you can see, requires an LED displays the number 1, which means you're going to need keycard number 1. At the moment, I'm going to use this little creature here as a way to give you that card, and then we can access this room. So this will essentially be the base for this cult of the dragon, essentially. So I've done a few bits of the decorating in this area. Added in a few little characters, but the main character that you'll want to speak to will be this guy over here behind this little counter. He's essentially the leader of this faction. Now, I want to say all of this is going to be an optional bit of the game, but we'll see how this pans out. So we'll talk to him. You can see the camera stops, pans upwards, talk to him. Now, this little thing here, the voice slithers through the dark like a whispering grave, calm and cold, promising salvation with the weight of a curse. So these little intro text to describe the voice is what I'm going to use for the first time you speak to each NPC. Greetings, Nomad. Haven't seen you here before. I am Quetzal. Welcome to the lair of the Dragon God. I need to work on, spelling and grammar and stuff, but for the time being, this will be the introduction to this faction, essentially. Each member of our order carries a totem. If you collect these, you will surely grow in physical stamina. Perhaps with enough time, you'll be able to rival the dragon itself. So, each of these characters that you find will give you this one over here. Well, we won't actually give it to you, you'll see why, because I'm essentially going to factor in little side quests for each of these guys. So you find, actually he'll explain it first. Let's talk to this guy first. That meter in the top left is stamina, so it recharges. You see, if I sprint and it depletes, and now I can't sprint anymore until it goes up again, and then I can sprint again. So talk to this guy again. Does the camera trick again. Welcome back, Vagrant Child. Our great order shows our devotion through collecting small tokens of devotion called drakes. If you bring me 10 of these, I'll reward you greatly. The tokens are small, floating, spinning, glowing green coins depicting a dragon on the surface. Some may be out in the open. Others may have fallen to the lower levels of the facility. You've collected 0 Drake coins so far. So this sort of starts essentially a side quest with these. So what I've done is I've made this little area here. And I've just dropped in these. They're not spinning at the moment. If you I'll put a little like clip in here of what these will look like when they're spinning. But yeah, I have figured that out. I just haven't done it for this placeholder room. So we'll collect these. Let's say like we collect a few of those. We can check the inventory to show that they've actually gone into our inventory. Under collectibles, Drake coin. A special coin collected by the followers of the dragon. Then we go back and speak to our guy here. Welcome back, vagrant child, our greatest child. You've collected 5 coins so far. So again, these will be spread out throughout the game, and there'll be a collectible to, find 10 of these and then come back and that'll complete that sort of side quest there. That's just one part of what I'm doing with this little faction here. So again, this is, I'll say again, this is a side content. This is like an optional area. And the main upgrade you'll get from this, I'll show you what you'll get from this. I won't spoil this with everything. It's just that I wanted to show something today. And, showing the reward here will give you an idea of what kind of things I'm going to include in the game. So when you come back with 10 coins, this shall be rewarded with the Mark of Draft. By activating this power, the unseen will become visible to you. So we've collected that. You can check that in the thing. It'll be under key items, the Mark of Draft. Basically, what this is essentially, it will reveal secret items. We use that, and there's a guy who's been hiding here the whole time. So if I turn that off, you'll see, use it again to turn it off, and he vanishes. So the only way to see this guy is by using that Mark of Draft. Just speak to this guy over here quickly. He is another one of these members of the order. So we'll find these guys spread out throughout the game, right? The voice trembles with joy and dread, like a hymn sung to sweetly at a funeral. I am Zythel, the newest member of the order. As such, I stay close to the master for my own safety. So he says, seek one of my brothers out first, because he will only speak to you to give you his. So that's the two. They'll give you an item which will increase your ability to run. We also have this is a placeholder thing with the explosive on here, but this will be replaced with a book essentially, a leather-bound book depicting a green dragon on its cover. That will be the Book of the Dragon, I think I called it. Yeah, Book of the Dragon under journal. Law. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, cool. It's because I know there's another one of these guys just outside who will only speak to you if you have that book collected, and I will include. Well, let's do this one first as well. So we saw that. Do not tell the master I'm here. My work requires me to work in the utmost secrecy. Here, take my totem and leave me be. So now he's saying that. That's all I have. Right. So now you'll see with the that item collected, I can now run for twice as long essentially. My idea is I'm going to create this. This might actually be in the next video or something that I upload. I'm going to try and get back on track with these uploads to be more frequent. But my idea is to have, I'm going to either have like a floor that will collapse as you run across it, and without enough upgrades, you won't be able to make it across in time, and then you'll fall to the area below. Or potentially you run away from something like a monster that if it catches you will obviously kill you. And if you have that ability to run faster, that will help a lot because obviously you'll be able to outrun them. So I have put another one of these. Oh, full up. That's fine. I've put another one of these things. You'll see as well that this area is now lit up, which it wasn't before. That's another small thing I'm going to have to work on. I do know how to fix that, but I just haven't done that for this area yet. So I did put another one of these guys over here, and he will speak to me if I can't talk to him. This place is haunted by the stench of those foul bird-like creatures. The great serpent will devour their eggs and lay its own in their nest. I am a disciple of the Emerald Way. So the options here will change based on whether or not you've picked up that book. So you can say what, and he'll say, indeed, perhaps you should retrace your steps if you find yourself lost and confused in this place, which is obviously a hint to go back and look at some of the items. I also need to work on the sprite sheet because you can see little glitches coming around the guy at the moment. But what he wants you to say is essentially embers under the ice, which is, I'm going to factor that into the journal that you'll find. Greetings, brother. I've waited a long time for this moment. Please take this coin. I'm sure you'll know it's worth when the time comes. So he'll actually just give you one of the drakes. So I probably have 11 now. Yeah. Which obviously you don't need 11 because the thing will cap out at 10. But I'm not going to have all 10 of them, in that one area there. So we are making progress, as you can see with this. This was essentially a gameplay feature. This area is like coming together, requires physics power back online. Just as a little sneak peek, let's just have a little look ahead to like the way so this door over here requires physics power back online, because that will actually be an elevator which will lead down to the other floors. But if we head up here, this is the way that you're actually supposed to go. Well, there's two ways to go, I think. Well, there will be multiple paths. Ignore the giant placeholder treasure chest. And down here will lead into the next little bit. So this is down to the next floor down. If I go around this way, there's a little door here. And then we lead down to this next area here. I like this little trick here with the camera panning down to look down the stairs as you walk down them, and then back up again when you reach the bottom. This door will normally be locked with a level 1 keycard. As I showed earlier, I've actually already basically given that to myself, so we have this little area here to explore. And this is all very much placeholder here, but this is a big empty space to work with. You can see I've got a lot of things, but just to show you guys, if anyone's actually interested in like, how I'm constructing this, look, there's a big, I put treasure chests which are essentially key, so you find in this one you'll find a rope, and if I'm not mistaken, at the back of this room here, I will include maps as well. I have included the system here in the menu. There's a map here, so this will be the control floor. But at the moment, I haven't actually coded that bit into the game, so you say no map downloaded for that area. But once I've added the maps, then it'll make a big difference. So if I recall, this is the room which will allow you. Yes, it is back here. There's this hole in the floor, which is one of 2 locations where you'll be able to use the rope. There's a hole here with some rope I can send to the floor below. Save rope for later. I'm going to do little things like pan the camera downwards so you'll look down at it and stuff like that, but let's use the rope. So now that's done, and we can descend down to the floor below. At the moment, nothing here right now, but this will be the next floor down, and this will allow us to progress to the next area of the game. I'm sure you can see, like I said, there's a lot of... So I've constructed this game essentially from the ground, from start to finish. If I go back to RPG Maker now, anyone who uses RPG Maker will have some awareness of this, but you can see all the maps down here in the corner. And yeah, that's progress I've made so far. Well, I mean, there are other bits that you've seen in other videos. I am still making progress. It's been a bit slow. As I mentioned in the intro to this video, the main thing that's been slowing me down, to be honest, has been a mix of, I stopped, I was working, and I actually find it easier to be more productive when I have a job. And now I'm not working, and weirdly enough, that's actually made me less productive because, well, it's hard to keep motivation. But on top of that, also, I kind of, I don't know. It's hard to make something good enough and feel like I've made enough progress to actually share it. Also, I've been I don't know if I mentioned this in the start of the video, but it's something that's been on my mind a little bit. It's I want to make the game scary, and obviously that's not there yet because I haven't got any kind of sounds or there's a lot of things that I know will add atmosphere. But I want to build the game, essentially the structure of it from start to finish. Get as much placeholder graphics in place as I can, and then start making audio and stuff the next focus. So we've got a long road ahead of us, to be honest. But considering I'm doing this all on my own, I think progress is coming along pretty decently. I will also say, I know I mentioned this in the beginning again, but I want to go for this tone to I just finished watching the Terrifier movies as well, and again, it's not going to be torture or gore or anything like that in the game. That's not going to be really. I might show some gore, as in you come across the aftermath of something, but nothing actually explicitly happening on screen particularly. Mainly because of the limitations of the graphics. But what I will do, you said door closes behind you when you come through here, is just have more creepy set pieces and atmosphere. At the moment, probably the one that's got the most finished area will be this one back here. Let's just check that out as a last little bit. I have shown all of these areas so far. Oh, okay. like there is work to be done of it, clearly. Like, I'll add more creepy horror based artwork and stuff everywhere. Want to do like bones and skulls hanging from the ceiling or whatever. No, interestingly, that is fun. This is a bit of a place, a test room essentially as well, because we have. I'll show this as the last thing, because anyone who's stuck out this video, like, you are clearly actually interested. So if I had the right to work my way back through here, see this floor here. Ignore the graphics on it. Just imagine it was slightly different for a second. I'm pretty sure if I go in this box here, it will give me stomp. Yep. Okay. So this is another example of like an ability that I've added. You have this ground here. You can do this. The floor here feels weak. I've already stomped through here. Yes. And you can see it's created a hole that you can then drop into, and then you find yourself in this little tiny room here, which was actually locked from the other side. Look, the floor here. That's fine. That's not right, but that's fine. Door is easy to open, so it's not the door. The other thing you can do, I'm not sure if this will work right now, but if I can, you can like grapple over to this like little block over here. And the way that works is essentially like, you can see a lot of like weird, janky graphics going on, but that is essentially how that will work. So, oh right, I didn't pick up the key this time. That's fine. This is one of the more finished rooms, I would say. I think I like to put in like one or two more finishing touches just to make it a little more creepy. Maybe just a monster wandering around in here. Maybe something that's not actually like, a threat to you, but wanders around. I've only just noticed that overlaps. That's always been like that, and I've only just noticed. Well, huh. But yeah, thanks a lot for everyone's support so far. I have actually seen decent support on this, considering, I know how hard YouTube is and social media and life in general is just a bloody nightmare at the moment for some people, myself included. Like I said, I lost a really good job, like, at the end of last year. Worked a really rubbish one for the first few months of this year. And this project is one of the only things that's keeping me, like, really sane. I've also got 3 children, I've got a wife and a house, and a lot of stuff. House is rented, obviously. But, like, this game is the passion project. I mean, I've had a lot of passion projects over the years, but this one is the latest one. It's the one that I'm feeling the most confident about having the ability to finish. So this is locked. The door. You need LED displays number 1. So keycard number 1. So part of the structure of this is you'll need keycards 1, 2, 3, and then a final card. There's a lot of puzzles that I've worked into it. Again, I think the biggest thing is going to be the visuals. It's going to be like something that I can work on next with the art style, because my style of working with this, it does add quite a smooth way for me to incorporate little bits like this painting on the wall over here. I say painting. It's a weird little drawing with a little bit of rubbish in the corner there. Lots of things. I want to do more animation as well. I don't know if you picked up on that in the other cult room. Let me go grab that again quickly, because I said I'm bringing together all these different things I've been testing to try and create the most unique style that I can. And part of it in here, there's a little lighting thing that I did mention in a previous video, which obviously is not working right now because it's fine. It really doesn't matter too much. But basically, like, once I fix that, you see it's too light in here now. I don't like everything being completely illuminated. But essentially, the lights in here should flicker on and off. I can show that for you. Let's show that one more time. While I'm setting this up, I'll say thank you to everyone who's subscribed. I will be surprised if you're watching this long into it and you're not already subscribed, but if you're not, then please do subscribe. Liking, commenting on the video, joining me on Patreon would be the best, most amazing thing people could do, but I don't expect many people to do that because obviously that's money. But thank you so much to... I have one Patreon. He's an amazing guy called Raymond. I've had a couple messages back and forth with him, and I'll say thank you so much for your support. If you're watching this today... thank you, just that's all I can say, for having faith in the fact that I can actually put this together at some point. I will say this will probably take me, I don't know, at least a couple more months before I've got something, a demo of any kind. Maybe, who knows, it could take a year before this is actually finished to a beta level. But, I mean, that's the thing with something. I mean, I guess it's all about my scope. As I mentioned in a previous video as well, like, I have scoped things out and planned things. You can see there the light I was talking about, flickering, becoming more powerful, turning off. But yeah, I would really like to share this eventually. Well, the very very last bit I mentioned today, I'm going to go around in circles saying things because I feel like I'm going to have to repeat myself a few times because this video will probably get about 100 views if I'm lucky, and then people will miss like a lot of the more important messages, like because I'm putting them in here. But like, there is absolutely no use of any AI of any kind in this. This is, I mean, I suppose it's kind of obvious that it's all hand drawn and very janky, but like all of my work is completely my work. That's that's going to be very important to me as this goes forward. Yeah, like this is my vision and my project. I haven't like I've had people offer to help out with art and with voice acting as well and things like that, but no, I'm going to very much keep this as a solo development with my own sweat, blood, and tears going into it, and hopefully, even if the result is something incredibly janky and weird and maybe not what is very mainstream, quite clearly. But I might have something that will appeal to a smaller niche audience, and if anything, that's what I've always liked. I've always liked that weird, creepy, like ominous and just not usual stuff. So the bullet point there, right at the end, I'll just say is that the project is coming along. This is the latest area that I've worked on, and I am going to keep chucking on with this. There shouldn't be another gap as long as big as that. Now that I'm back uploading and I've figured out my process again, hopefully I can get back to uploading every couple of days. And yeah, thank you so much for sticking with me. Goodbye.